Hi Sagittarius, welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your May 2025 tarot reading. Thank you to those of you who have liked, viewed, shared, and subscribed to the channel. I appreciate all of that. For those of you new to the channel, as far as what we have in front of us, the Celtic cross spread as always, and also pulled the 4 agreements and wisdom the oracle card for you guys. But we're actually going to start the reading off by rolling those astrology dice we have in front of us to get an idea of where your focus should be as far as that goes. Alright, we have 3. So, third house energy for you guys is Aquarius. Astrologically speaking, we do have Pluto in Aquarius, and it's actually going to start a retrograde on May 4th. And third house in general points to communication, short journeys, and siblings. Alright, we have Mercury. So, Mercury's going to be moving a lot this month. Pretty much it's going to be in Aries until the 10th of May, then it's going to be in Taurus until the 25th of May, and from the 25th through the rest of the month it'll be in Gemini. So basically it'll be moving from your 5th house to your 6th and then eventually your 7th. So 5th house, romance, creativity, children; 6th house, work, health, daily routines; and 7th house, partnerships, contracts, relationships. And we see Aquarius again, so we did mention what Aquarius was about when we saw the third house energy come out for you guys. And like I said, there will be Pluto retrograde starting early in May for you guys. So could definitely impact your communication. All right, so we'll keep that in mind as we go through the main spread. In the main situation position, we have the 2 of Wands, Aries energy, and challenging that, we have the 4 of Wands, also Aries energy. So it's going to just be saying that as we move through Aries season, you might have had the desire to possibly explore a new place, possibly even to permanently move to a new place as well, but I feel like you did want to at least explore it first. And ultimately your goal there was to feel more fulfilled, right? So you might have felt like you got to a point where you currently were, where you might have felt like, okay, I might have outgrown this place, right? And that could have piqued your curiosity as to what else was out there. Alright, in the foundation position, we have the King of Cups. So this is Scorpio energy here. So yeah, to me this says that ultimately you guys gave it a lot of thought, right? So it's just one of those things where it's something you've probably had on your mind for a long time, but you just may not have been ready to act on it until recently. In the past position, we have the 3 of Wands. So yeah, so to me, again, Aries energy for one, but to me this says that maybe you're waiting for the situation to improve on its own, right? So for example, if this is around you moving, like I mentioned, maybe you're like, you know what, maybe I'll give this place a little bit more time before I make a decision to really move on. So that could have been ultimately what you were doing, and now you could just be at the point where like, okay, this just seems like it's not going to lead to any more growth where I'm at. Right, in the present position, we have the Queen of Wands. So yeah, this is Aries energy here, which is definitely more action-oriented, right? So ultimately, this could just be saying that this is the energy that you're embracing now, where you're saying, okay, you know what? I did try to give it a go, right? See if things would improve on their own. It doesn't seem to be the case, so maybe now I need to get out and explore. Right, in the near future position, we have Temperance. So this is actually the major arcana card for your sign. So this is definitely a good indicator to see in the near future, because that says to me that, yeah, even if you were feeling stuck for a while, right, weren't sure what to do, now it seems like you guys will be coming back into your own in the near future. And this does make me think of the fact that we recently had Mars move into Leo again, which is your 9th house, which is the house you guys are naturally rulers of and points to foreign affairs, philosophy, higher learning. So having that supportive transit there could be what's helping you feel more like yourselves again. All right. In the position of your influence on the situation, we have the 9 of Pentacles. So yeah, so to me this says that ultimately it looks like you've been embracing your independence, and I feel like this is saying that you might have had some success in doing so as well. So it could just be one of those things where maybe you've built up some success for yourselves on that independent path. So for some of you, maybe this really is just as simple as physically moving somewhere, but for others of you, maybe this is also exploring the potential for maybe entering into a partnership as well. All right. In the environment position, we have the Page of Swords. So yeah, so that could be saying that if this is around you considering a partnership, maybe there's some nervousness on your part in doing so, right? Because again, if you've just been in that independent energy for so long, right, that could feel like a huge change of pace for you to now come out of that and say, okay, well, how do I even interact with someone to get into a partnership, right? So when I say partnership, it could definitely be romantic, given that all this Aries energy points to your fifth house, but it could also be around creative projects as well, maybe even just work life in general. But yeah, that's what I see with that. All right, in the hopes or fears position, we have the Ace of Wands. So yeah, so I'm going to assume this is a hope for you guys, and ultimately I feel like this is just saying that you're hoping for a spark, right? Like I said, it feels like you just might have felt like you reached as far as you could get on a certain path where you're currently at, and now you just feel like, okay, I need to feel that spark, I need to feel reinvigorated, right? I need to feel re-inspired. All right, and then the outcome position, we have the King of Pentacles. So if nothing else, this is a good indicator as far as your finances go, right? So if maybe what's been holding you back to an extent was maybe the financial concerns, it looks like by the time we get to the end of the month, you'll be feeling a lot more secure around that as well. So at least if that was the thing holding you back, it looks like that that obstacle will be freed up. All right, and bottom of the deck, we have the Six of Cups. So yeah, so for some of you, this can be around reconciling with someone from the past, and if not another person, just maybe even a dream that you had for yourselves at a certain point, right? So this could be like extending love to your inner child in that regard, right? So if there's something you really wanted to do at a certain point, but maybe for whatever reason you drifted away from that, now as you're in your current path and you're like, okay, maybe I've even had some success here, but it's not necessarily fulfilling, you might start to explore something that you really had a passion for but never pursued in the past for whatever reason. Okay, from the Four Agreements deck, we have Don't Take Anything Personally, and it says Embrace Your Freedom. So, very much a Sagittarius energy there. But let's see what it says. Right? It says you gain a huge amount of freedom when you take nothing personally. No spell can affect you regardless of how strong it may be. And if you live without fear, if you love, you will be happy with your life. So yeah, definitely a positive message there. I mean, it doesn't look like there's any outside interference as far as anyone being naysayers or telling you, oh, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. So it doesn't seem like that's really at the forefront of this reading in any way, but hopefully that message resonated with you anyway. And then from the Wisdom of the Oracle, we have the Fates. There's the artwork and the number 17. All right, essential meanings says fate, karma, acceptance that there are things you cannot change, and knowing what those things are. The Oracle's message. The Serenity prayer sums up the meaning of this card. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. There are things in life you will never have control over. The conditions brought on by the evolution of the collective, by nature, and by your past experiences may be fated, preordained by spirit for a greater purpose you cannot understand in this lifetime. It may not be in your cards to understand why certain events occurred, but you can accept the mystery and work with what those events and your current circumstances have to teach you. This is the wisdom contained in the Serenity Prayer. So yeah, definitely a positive message there, because maybe if there was some kind of a setback that you guys might have experienced, I feel like this is saying ultimately, especially given that we do see the Major Arcana card for your sign in the near future as well, I feel like this is saying that ultimately, you know, even if you don't understand it, you could just move forward and have faith that things will work out better. The relationship message says other people are who they are. You can't change them. The challenge is to accept them as they are and not try to make them otherwise to suit you. This is a time to look at how you attempt to mold people to fit your view of how they should be, so you can remain in a relationship and avoid discomfort. What if who they are, and whatever is happening between you and them in this situation, is perfect from the perspective of spirit? Now is the time to accept what you cannot change, even if it means that you honor yourself, spirit, and the other person by moving on. Love unconditionally, for each of us on our own journey, and we cannot direct that of another. Be aware that this relationship is indeed fated, and you are meant to evolve into a better version of yourself as a result of it. So yeah, definitely an interesting message there, right? Because I definitely didn't seem to see any energy pointing to a controlling type of vibe from you guys either. Although maybe for some of you that could be what that King of Cups energy in the foundation is, because sometimes that can come across as a bit stubborn. So if that's the case, hopefully that resonated. And the prosperity message says your experiences concerning prosperity and abundance are beyond your personal control right now. You're being invited to accept what is unreservedly. This could be a temporary situation seemingly thrust upon you by outside forces, but there is an underlying purpose you can't see that has been determined by the fates. It could be a situation you are unprepared for, and you may not understand how it will benefit you in the moment. Do not fight the situation. Ride it out and see where it leads. Surrender to it, and serenity you need to make good choices from here on out will be given to you. You will indeed flourish. So yeah, definitely a positive message there as well. Not really seeing any energy of major setbacks. Like I said, for anything, it seems more like you were trying to be patient around a situation and you just came to the realization like, okay, this doesn't seem to be resolving things, and it looks like ultimately you will take matters into your own hands in that regard. But hopefully that resonated for you guys. We'll wrap up there, and I'll see you all next month.